Hey, what is up, everybody? This is William from 40 Billions over here on the Black Man in Tech channel. Thank you guys so much for rocking with me. We're going to go ahead and go into this article from Business Insider. So, hopefully, you guys have seen the first video where I was talking about software engineers who were paying up to $75,000, or at least $75,000, all the way up to $150,000 just to get a few inches taller, right? They actually break their legs and they go through this surgery in order to get taller. All right, so please go ahead and check out that video. It will be in the card on the top right hand corner. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into this article.
I love the game. I love the hustle, man.
All right, so as you can see here, this is the name of the article. It says a man borrowed $75,000 for leg lengthening surgery to make him 3 inches taller, report says. Okay, so this was in September 18th, 2022, when this was reported. All right, so let's go ahead and see. It says a man who borrowed $75,000 for a leg lengthening surgery that made him 3 inches taller will spend $1,200 a month on repayments for the next 5 years, GQ magazine reported. All right, so you're pretty much going into debt just to be able to get 3 inches taller. $75,000 into debt. There are a lot of people who have student loan debts that are, I want to say, like they're, if you're like a doctor or something like that, you probably have more than this. But you do have some people who do have some horror stories where they can get up to like $75,000 in student loan debt. Imagine having student loan debt in addition to $75,000 worth of debt that you have to pay over 5 years. That's a long time to be paying off some debt, right? It's not a car or anything like that. I mean, I guess it's worth it for him. I'm not gonna say that it's a waste of money or anything like that, but I just wouldn't do it myself. So I can just say, hey, this is just what he wanted to do. All right, so let's see. So it says John Lovedale, in his mid 40s, explain. Well, he probably good then. He in his mid 40s. That's usually when men hit their financial stride. Usually, so mid 40s. So he's sitting on a whole bunch of money. He probably can afford an extra $1,200 a month for 5 years. So it says John Lovedale explained why he went through the painful months-long surgery. I noticed that taller people just seem to have it easier. The world seems to bend for them, he said, which is not true. Right? This is really just low self-esteem. That's all that is. The world is not easier for taller people. I guess if you wanted to get something off the top shelf a little bit easier, then you can do it. But there's a lot of tools that you can use if you're not tall enough to be able to reach high lengths. I mean, like there's, just get a stool if you just need to be able to reach the pickle jar or something like that. All right, he decided to take the opportunity to become 3 inches taller when he heard about the procedure. Before doing so, he was about 5 feet, 8.5 inches tall. So he's about average height. So he's average height. Slightly less than the average height of 5 feet 9 inches. Okay, slightly, right? It's half. He is quite literally half an inch shorter than average. Lovedale took a loan from the online bank SoFi. I've heard of that before. I heard of SoFi before. I want to kind of look into that in a second. To pay for the surgery, which cost between $70,000 to $150,000, depending on whether the patient wants to grow by 3, 4, 5, or 6 inches, GQ reported. All right, so that's also what we said in the last video. All right, so this is the part that stood out to me right here, where it says that the network engineer will now spend $1,200 in repayments for the next 5 years, but has no regrets, the magazine reported. All right, so the first one was talking about the software engineers. This one is talking about a network engineer. So it's affecting a lot of people who are just in tech as well. That's what the surgeon said in the last article that we looked at. The surgeon said that a lot of people in the tech field, a lot of high earning people who are in the FANG companies are actually paying for these huge amounts of debt with these surgeries. But yeah, so let's go ahead and see what else they say right here. Imagine getting your CCNA, your Network Plus, or whatever it is, your certification. You have like over 10 to 20 years in the tech industry. You're most likely in a powerful position because usually people with a lot of experience usually tend to get into positions of power. He says he's a network engineer, but he's probably like the lead network engineer where he can pretty much call the shots as far as his team is concerned. So imagine being in a position of power. You have done the work, but then you still have an inferiority complex where you like, oh, just taller people have it easier, despite the fact that you have proven that you have the work ethic to be able to get to even afford a $75,000 expense in addition to everything else that you're paying for, knowing that it's painful, knowing that it is a life-changing thing, right? Last time I made the joke that maybe because the way they use is they use a remote control to be able to make you taller. Well, what if they were to make you shorter using that same remote control if you were to miss a payment? But regardless of that, it's a life-changing thing. You can't just retract all of the pain and agony that you went through in order to go through this. But he says that he doesn't regret it. So let's go ahead and see why. He says, people just look at you differently when you're tall. I already get a lot more looks at the gym. So he's already up in the gym too. Right, man? I know a lot. Let me tell you guys, there are a lot of short men. He wasn't even short, right? He was just a little bit off from average. But there's a lot of short men who are actually able to get respect for themselves, despite not being tall. There's a lot of other factors. Being tall is something that usually you shouldn't be able to change. You can change it, by going through surgery, but then also you can just have better posture about yourself. There's a lot of different things that people do in order to appear taller, right? Even just being confident in yourself makes you look more attractive to people. So you will get more looks at the gym if you're just more confident in yourself, right? So it says he first heard about the leg lengthening procedure performed by Kevin on Facebook. I'm not going to try and pronounce that name. All right, so then it says Kevin is one of only a handful of surgeons in North America who perform the cosmetic leg lengthening. He founded LimPlastX Institute near Las Vegas in 2016, and the clinic's business boomed during the pandemic. Cosmetic leg lengthening was originally intended to help patients with real conditions, but it is now becoming a more common cosmetic surgery. So you see, I like how they put out the real conditions, right? Y'all just over here doing this just for, for fun or to make yourself look better. But this is for like real conditions when it first came up. So it actually has a purpose. It's pretty much what he's saying. The procedure itself sounds excruciating. The doctor breaks the patient's femurs or thigh bones and inserts adjustable metal nails into them. GQ reported that the nails are extended slightly every day for 3 months with a magnetic remote control. It can take months to slowly lengthen the bones and for the legs to heal. There's a mental discipline that you have to have. It's like training for the marathon. The doctor revealed that many of his patients are tech workers from big firms like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and Meta, which we talked about last time. It says, despite the stigma surrounding cosmetic surgery, it appears to become increasingly common for men. The Washington Post reported in January 2020 that men were turning to all kinds of cosmetic procedures in an effort to get ahead in their careers. So this is not only for more confidence, but they are saying that, hey, they're going to all different kinds of cosmetic procedures just to get ahead in their career. I mean, really, there's a lot of things you can do outside of cosmetic procedures to be able to get ahead in your career, such as just getting more certifications, just having a job, having experience, staying at a specific job for a little while, and then moving to another position somewhere else, or moving it in a different position within your company. All of those different things will allow you to be able to move ahead within your career. So this guy, he's already in his mid 40s. He's already making some good money. So I don't think that he's trying to do it for his career. I think he just has low self-esteem in himself, despite not even being that short to begin with. All right. So that being said, guys, let me know what you guys think about this video in the comments down below. Would you get this surgery? Right? And if you would, why would you get it? And if you wouldn't, also then tell me why you would not get this surgery. I look forward to reading your comments in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Also, please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And also hit that bell notification icon if you want to be notified whenever I make new videos on YouTube. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you all on the next one.